Does your bidding still haunt you till today, or have you made peace with it?
Well, now I've made peace with it, but I actually bid on a house in that same neighborhood a few months before I bought the house that I now own.
Yeah.
And that bidding was even crazier. I've heard afterwards that it was overbid by 100,000.
What? So if you wanted a shot at that house, you would have gone more than 100K.
The reason I wanted to buy is because...
Sorry, again, I was coughing. Hi everybody, so I have here with me Lindsay, and Lindsay recently bought a house. Well, is this still recent?
I've been living there recently.
Oh, you've been living there already? Oh, I didn't know, because I know you've been doing a lot of renovations already. But it's been more than, it's not a year yet.
It's been a year.
Already a year? Okay, sorry. Not very recently, but she still remembers some of the processes involved. So in this video, she is going to share some of those processes. I have a few questions on my phone here, and I'll be asking these questions. As I like to start with such interviews, just a brief introduction about yourself. Anything you want to share?
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I met Dillion through church. I was born and raised here in the Netherlands, and I work here.
Okay, the first question is obviously, why did you decide to buy a house? Because I know you were living with your parents before. So there was obviously the option to rent, but what was that for you that made you decide with buying?
The reason I wanted to buy is because...
Sorry, again, I was coughing.
The reason I wanted to buy is because when you rent, it's difficult enough to find a place to rent. And when you rent, it's usually in an apartment. In an apartment, you would have to pay costs like for the VVE, Vereniging van Eigenaren. It's this monthly payment that you do for maintaining the building.
Part of your rent?
Yes.
Okay.
That is also why I wanted to buy a house instead of an apartment. Because even when you do buy an apartment, you still have to pay the extra fee for maintaining the building. That's still a monthly cost you have to pay. Finding a house is a good investment for your future as well.
So for you, you would rather pay those extra costs on your own house than a house owned by someone else?
Yeah.
I don't know the kind of houses you found, but was there much difference with what the prices of the rent was and, I don't know, probably what your monthly mortgage looks like right now?
Not that much difference, actually.
So the big thing here for you is just that it's going to be your house instead of someone else's house.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself, at least in the nearest future, saving more in your own house than in a rented house?
Eventually, yes, of course, because once your mortgage is paid off, it's really something that you own. You own the house. One day you'll get to sell the house again and hopefully get the chance to buy an even bigger house.
But that's like in 30 years, so that's a long time.
Yes.
So if I understand you correctly right now, you said that when it comes to money, it wasn't much difference with renting and buying for you, but it's just more about the investment you're making into your own house. That's what made you decide with buying.
Yes.
What was your experience like with buying a house? Were there any challenges or surprises or things that took you off guard, or was the whole process just smooth until you signed the contract?
Once I found this house, the process was smooth, but being able to find this house, I did search for quite a few months to even up to a year and a half.
You've been looking for a year and a half?
Not actively, but yes. I would say actively for about 8 months.
And then when you found the house, everything worked out smoothly. There wasn't something that surprised you?
When I did get the keys to the house, I was surprised by how much effect smoke damage does to a house.
Do you mean people smoking or?
Yes.
Oh.
So the previous owners, one of them smoked a lot, and you saw smoke damage in everything, in the walls, in the ceiling. It's really in there.
Okay. Up until finding the house, everything worked smoothly until you had the keys, and then new surprises.
Yeah, lots of painting, which you helped me with, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I also did some painting for the house, so I have my inputs, my involvement registered on the house. Did you use a real estate agent, or did you go through the process by yourself?
I did not use a real estate agent. I was looking mostly through Funda, responding to certain in houses.
And was it only Fonda you used?
Yes.
Do you regret doing it yourself? Was there any moment where you felt having a real estate agent would be nice right now? Or for you, did you just feel, yeah, I'm proud of myself doing it alone?
I've been to lots of visitations to houses
Yeah.
before I found this one. Some things that might have been helpful when you do get an advisor or a real estate agent is that they help you look at things in houses that you as a first-time buyer would not notice or do not know.
Yeah, I want to believe that you missed having that.
Yeah, but I did have help from my parents. They came with me to the visitations and they know a little bit more about houses than I do.
Okay, they were your real estate agents then.
Sort of.
Yeah.
When I actually got the keys to my house, I did receive some notes in the mailbox.
Yeah.
People just go around in the neighborhood and put them in every house in the neighborhood with the story like, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm this many years old, and I would love to live in a smaller house than I do now. I would love to live in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you know anyone or if you want to put your own house for sale, please let us know. Email address and phone number.
Yeah.
And this is the way it goes in quite a few neighborhoods and also in Amsterdam, because a lot of people still live in the smaller apartments that are older and might want to move out at some point.
So this is something you could have also done.
Yes.
And then maybe someone would have given you a call if a house is available. Okay, but interesting that you use just Fonda, because the next question was going to be what websites or resources did you use in your research? But from what you say now, the only thing you did was Fonda.
And advice from friends that have bought houses before.
Well, this advice is about what neighborhoods to live in, or what kind of advice is?
It was more of advice what you have to do once you place a bid and what you have to do to even get the appointment for a visitation to a house.
Yeah.
It helps when you write a little introduction about yourself.
Yeah.
So the tenants know or the previous owner knows what kind of person might live in there.
Okay. Well, it took you 8 months. Do you think it would have taken you a shorter time if you had a real estate agent?
It might have.
But you don't regret any of your decisions?
No, I wasn't in that much of a rush.
Next question is, did you have to bid or did you pay exactly what you saw on Fonda?
I did have to bid. The verkoopmakelaar.
The selling agents?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had this website made where you have to fill in your bid. You can write a message and then select your options for if you want to do a technical on the house or if there are any financial conditions.
Yeah. And did you have to bid something big or something small?
In the time period that I bought the house, it was a time period where everyone overbid the asking price. And if you did not, you would not even stand a chance.
So you had to also overbid.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been crazy. Does your bidding still haunt you to today, or have you made peace with it?
Well, now I've made peace with it, but I actually bid on a house in the same neighborhood a few months before I bought the house that I now own.
Yeah.
And that bidding was even crazier. I've heard afterwards that it was overbid by 100,000.
What? So if you wanted a shot at that house, you would have gone more than 100K. Sorry about the bidding part. But were there any administrative hurdles you had to overcome as a first-time house buyer?
Well, you have the chance to choose your own notary. Not necessarily administrative things, but a lot of things that you need to fix before you can actually live in the house. For example, electricity, water.
Yeah.
The electricity should be aangesloten. Electricity contract.
Yeah.
Should be fixed before you move into the house or the day you get your keys.
Yeah.
Then you should also have your insurances ready.
Yeah.
For example, inboedelverzekering and opstalverzekering.
Yeah.
Those are for the houses and everything that is in the house to be insured. And also, for example, if there's any storm and your windows break, that those are insured as well.
Yeah. So these are more after you have signed the contract that all these administrations come into play. Your business with the notary happens before you sign the contract, or is it while you sign the contract?
For me, I first went to the house to check it again. The sellers were there as well. Then afterwards, you go to the notary together, then you sign.
What was your mortgage agreement with the bank? So I know some people have mortgage where, like even in the previous interview, you can have different structures with the bank of how much you want to pay. I think the standard is always 30 years, but there is a way you can discuss how that 30 years should look like. And some people even get mortgage that include money for renovation, which I believe in your case you would need because of the smoke in the house. So I don't know, what did that look like for you?
I had to get out a mortgage that would pay for the cost of the house, the taxes that come on top of it, and then figure out how much I would need for the renovation.
What did that mortgage look like? Maybe repaying the bank, how long does it take, stuff like that?
I took out a mortgage for 30 years.
Yeah.
And then it's a fixed amount that I pay every month for the 30 years. But if I do decide I want to pay back the total amount earlier than 30 years, I can.
Were there any unexpected costs in the house, something you didn't plan for?
As I said, the smoke damage. I did not expect it to be that harsh. You have to buy special paint, anti-nicotine paint, as a base coat, and then 3 more coats before all the yellow and brownish coloring is.
But aside that, you were prepared for the other costs that came with the house.
Prepared, I wouldn't say, but you just go along.
Yeah. With having a house, are there any tax benefits or, I don't know, things that just apply to you just because you're a homeowner?
There are some tax benefits. For example, the mortgage that you took out and the interest rate on that, they are deductible to the tax you pay.
But aside tax benefits, are there other benefits, apart from also the joy of just having your own home and punching the walls, putting holes wherever you want? Are there other benefits for you so far?
Freedom to do what you cannot do as a renter.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would also be a freedom for me too. And what is one thing that you would do differently if you were to buy a house again? Maybe something that if you had known before this process, you would have done it differently. I don't know if there is any example of that for you.
The technical checkup. I would probably do that.
Oh yeah, Luke mentioned doing a technical supervision of the house. If you had done that, would it have changed your decision about buying the house?
Probably not, but I think it's better to be prepared for what might be there that you cannot see yourself.
Okay. That's smart. I wanted to say that's wise and I wanted to say that's smart. So I said that's smart. And you've been living there for how many weeks now or months? Because I didn't know you were living there already.
A week.
Oh, a week. Okay. Yeah. I would be surprised if you've been living there for months. Well, still too early to ask, but how has it been the week so far?
It's good.
You're not regretting anything, the neighborhood?
No, I'm enjoying it. What I'm very, very grateful about is that I really think it was from God. And the neighbors I actually knew from when I was little. Kids Service was led by one of my neighbors. So I knew them already. They put in a good word for me as well. So I really think it was by God's grace that I got this house.
So you're already in a neighborhood where you know some neighbors already?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Well, these are all the questions that I have. It's always interesting to see how different people approach these things and what different people's motivations are. But I think what your own story also shows is that you can also get a house without agents. Thanks for sharing your story. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I would send the questions to Lindsay and get answers if there are any answers. But yeah, once again, Lindsay, thanks for doing this with me, and I look forward to having you on here again for maybe a different topic or to ask how is it so far with living in the house.
What topic might that be?
You'll find out in the next few months.
By the way, one of the really big advantages, not only for doing the things that you're not able to do as a renter. But one of the things I really liked doing was picking out your own kinds of tiles, your flooring, the colors of your walls.
Yeah, you can't do that. In my current apartment, I can't make this kind of decisions. So I get that. But once again, thanks for doing this and sharing this, Lindsay. And look forward to seeing you some other time. And enjoy the rest of your day for those watching. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. And we're done.